Had a feeling that I belong.
Can't you tell that I want you? I say it. I would want myself. Let me please, my baby. I'll put you through hell. Just to know me, yeah, yeah. So sure of yourself. Baby, don't get greedy. That shit won't end well.
I can't explain. I got a feeling that I can't erase. Just a feeling that I won't leave behind, because it's something that it's on my mind. I guess it goes like na 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 na.
Myself, please, my baby. I'll put you through hell. Just to know me, yeah.
I call this cappuccino.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week. Every hour, every minute, every second, night after night. I'll be fucking you for 7 days.
Yeah, man, he waits till it's looking all day. Someday, yeah, it hurts to say, but I want you to stay. Sometimes.
But it flew away from her reach, so she ran away in her sleep.
Young girl don't want that back calling me splurge. Why me jump right off the curb? Bet this right fly like a bird. Spin on the first and the third. Solid, don't keep in my word. Can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard. Crank up the phone, I swear. Keep me a stupid, they purge.
Pour me another drink, 'cause I don't wanna feel a thing no more, hell no. I just wanna sip it till the pain wears off. Don't wanna think about her, or wear a ring without her. Don't wanna hit the karaoke bar, can't sing without her. So make them drinks strong, 'cause brother, she's gone. And if I'm ever gonna move on, I'ma need some whiskey glasses, 'cause I don't wanna see the truth. She's probably making out on the couch right now with someone new. Yeah, I'ma need some whiskey glasses if I'm gonna make it through. I'ma be single, I'ma need a double shot of that heartbreak blues.
shoulder, it goes in time. You begging me to stay till the sun rose. Strange words come on out of a grown man's mouth when his mind's broke.
And it's happened once again. I'll turn to a friend, someone that understands, sees through the master plan. But everybody's gone, and I've been here for too long to face this on my own. Well, I guess this is growing up.
Pictures in passing time, you only smile like that when you drink.
Well, I guess this is growing up.
I wish I didn't, but I do.
Well, I guess this is growing up.
Don't you open up that window. Don't you let out that antidote. Yeah. Popping pills is all we know. In the hills is all we know.
Cause karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a thought. Karma is the breeze in my hair on the weekend. Karma's a relaxing thought. Aren't you envious that for you it's not? Sweet like honey. Karma is a cat. Purring in my lap cause it loves me. Flexing like a goddamn acrobat. Me and karma vibe like that.
Don't go through the front door.
Cause karma is my boyfriend.
It's low key at the night show.
Cause karma is my boyfriend.
So don't you open up that window.
Cause karma is my boyfriend.
Don't you let out that antidote.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me. 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I got the rap patrol on the cat patrol. Foes that want to make sure my cash is closed. Rap critics that save money, cash holes. I'm from the hood, stupid, what type of backs are those? If you grew up with holes in your zap for toes, you celebrate the minute you was having dope. I'm like, fuck critics, you can kiss my whole asshole. If you don't like the lyrics, you can press fast forward. Got beef with radio if I don't play their show. They don't play my hits, well, I don't give a shit. So, rap nags try to use my black ass. So advertise to give them more cash for ads, fuckers. I don't know what you take me as. Don't understand the intelligence that Jay-Z has. I'm from rap, the richest niggas, I ain't dumb. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me.
Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven?
If heaven is anywhere, it's in a blue Tacoma, California. White magnolia in your hair, praise the gold shining on you. Ooh, if heaven is anywhere, it's never running out of golden road. Always having your hand to hold in a blue Tacoma, California.
Cause every time we touch, I get this feeling. And every time we kiss, I swear I can fly. Can't you feel my heartbeat fast? I want this to last. Need you by my side. Cause every time we touch, I feel the static. And every time we kiss, I reach for the sky. Can't you hear my heartbeat so I can't let you go. Want you in my life.
I don't like no whips and chains and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me. That's right, whip your lovin' on me. 'Cause I don't like no whips and chains and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me. That's right, whip your lovin' on me.
Could you whisper in my ear the things you wanna feel? I'll give you anything to feel it coming. Do you wake up alone? I wonder where you are and live with all your thoughts. I wanna wake up where you are. I won't say anything at all, so I don't
I'm vanilla, baby.
I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby. She 28, telling me I'm still a baby. I get love from Detroit like a skillet, baby.
Can I take that down?
It feels like I can see the sands on the horizon every time you are not around. Slowly drifting away, wave after wave, wave after wave, slowly drifting.
Even though we're going through it and it makes you feel alone, just know that I would die for you. Baby, I would die for you. Yeah.
If only I could stop the sunrise, we could lay here all night. If only I could learn to freeze time and hold you forever. If only I had one more day, I love you 25/8. If only I could stop the sunrise, we could lay here all night. If only I could learn to freeze time and hold you forever.
Baby, I would die for you. Baby, I would die for you. Yeah.
If only I.
I gotta learn how to love without you. I gotta carry my cross without you. Stuck in a minute and I'm just about to figure it out without you. And I'm done sitting on without you. Fuck, I'm going out without you. I'm gonna tear this city down without you. I'm going body inclined without you.
Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me. No matter where you are, no matter how far.
Don't worry, baby.
Just call my name. I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry.
Ooh, this shit be hitting different.
Waiting on the world to change. Watch me dance, dance the night away. My heart could be burning, but you won't see it on my face. Watch me dance, dance the night away. I'll still keep the party running. I want it out of place. I want to love you, pretty young thing. You need some loving, then a love and care, and I'll take it there, girl. Every romance shakes and it bends, don't give a damn. When the night's here, I don't do tears, baby, no chance. I want to love you, pretty young thing. You need some loving.
The Fitness Gram Pacer Test.
Hey girl,
yeah. I'm too sexy for this girl, too sexy for your girl, too sexy for this world, too sexy for this ice, too sexy for that job, yeah. Okay, alright, that's fine. I'm too sexy for this chain, too sexy for your game, too sexy for this fame, yeah. I'm too sexy for the trap, too sexy for that job, too sexy for that job, yeah.
Did a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle. Can't speak for nobody to the top of my lifestyle. Did a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle. Can't speak for nobody to the top of my lifestyle.
Lifestyles of the rich and the famous. They're always complaining, always complaining. If money is such a problem, well, they got matches. Think we should rob them. Lifestyles of the rich and the famous. They're always complaining, always complaining.
This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel alright. The party's here on the west side, so I reach for my 40 and I turn it up. Designated driver, take the keys to my truck. Hit the shawl cause I'm faded. Honey's in the streets, say money, yo, we made it. Baby, it's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. She says, baby, well, I can't help but be scared of it all sometimes. And the rain's gonna wash away, I believe it.
Pains me to see. So many people are willing to learn how to trade stocks, but are simply just unsuccessful at it. It's not that you're a bad trader.
I'm up $953, $879, $1,300!
When people come up to me and they say, Dek, I'm just not a good stock trader, it's a whole bunch of baloney.
Oh my goodness, I just made $30,000. You guys want to see a show today? 20 grand in a day so far.
You know why I make so much money shorting? Because the answers are given to me.
$37,000. We're currently up $23,000, $24,000 right now. Let's go! This is high risk, high reward. Let's go, baby! Let's go! I'm going for $100,000 today. $100,000 month coming its way, baby.
You may not know everything, but all of a sudden, it's gonna click.
$30,817 in the market today. Oh my goodness, guys. Welcome to the stock market. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Every single bird. Good morning. We are getting ourselves excited. We are getting ourselves back into action. We are getting ourselves ready to go here. Good morning to all. Good morning, traders. We are back and ready to rock. Now, traders, over the last few days here, if you guys were not here, I was doing the summer boot camp. Summer boot camp was just absolutely fantastic. The amount of traders that were here, the amount of people that wanted to learn, the eagerness, the people that want to say, hey, I want to become full-time. And that's what gets me so excited. I'm always willing to give my 100% to you guys, but I want you to give your 100% back. If I'm here showing up every single day, doing 3 hours of lessons and boot camps, 9 hours total over the last 3 days straight, showing up day after day after day, I want you guys to do the same. I want you guys to say, hey, you know what? I want to be a successful stock trader. I don't want to just talk about it. I want to show it. I want my actions to actually, again, be there as well. And I know every single person that's listening to this right now, every single person that's watching this right now can say, hey, you know what? I am showing on up. There's people that show up once a week. There's people that show up and sleep on in and say, hey, I'll log on for 30 minutes and hopefully I find and become rich. That's not how to do it. You are going to be able to make money. You are going to be able to gain wealth by doing what? Being here every day, putting in the work that's necessary to be successful. I feel like I feel like all of us, honestly, we know what is the work to be successful. We know what we're supposed to do. Now, I don't know if you guys hear it or not, but there's a little squeak toy that I'm going to throw out the window here in a second. Here we go. All right, awesome. Sorry, I was losing my mind over here. So we're all good. Now getting back into it, traders, I am so excited about today. I'm ready to go. And I have a full entire set game plan ready to rock for this day. I want to go over it all. I want to talk about it all. And I want to make sure every single trader knows exactly what we're going to be trading on this day. So first thing I'm just going to throw out there, though, is good morning. Welcome back. And if you guys are, again, excited for this day, hit me with a good old Dekmar trades. Ah-hoo! Over in the chat room. Smash that thumbs on up because it is Money Thursday. Guys, it's already Thursday in the week. We're looking to make some cash. We're looking to make some money. We want this day to be able to be a day where we all have the market hit. We make this cash, we make this money, and we go out and enjoy life. That's what I want you guys to realize. That's what stock trading is about. It's not about sitting in front of a computer for 9 hours a day, trying to, again, nail a trade for 9 hours straight. Stock trading is about doing the research, getting prepared, getting ready to make money, and then executing. Then going out and living life. Not sitting in traffic, not working underneath a boss, not staring at a clock the entire time. So let's get ourselves prepared. Let's get ourselves ready to rock and roll because I am just absolutely jacked on up to be here right now. All right, team. I need to take a couple I got to take a couple breaths. In, out. In, out. Again, that's what my therapist said. Again, Dek, why are you in therapy? I don't know, guys. Sometimes, again, I'm constantly thinking about the stock market. My fiance was like, Sean, can you talk about me or talk about anything else? And I said, you don't know about the low floats. The low floats, they go crazy. You don't know about the option contracts. They say, Sean, I'm losing you. All right, that's a different story for a different time. Let's get ready to rock. Team, what are we going to be focusing on this day today? We got, again, best press releases so far today. Best press releases so far today. We do have CING, 3-star press release, treatment. CLBTW, that is a play that came out with second quarter results. It really is, CING. That's the main one of today. We're going to talk about it, but honestly, today, guys, I am going to be looking to trade the S&P 500. Now, the reason why I'm getting so pumped and so prepared to be able to trade the S&P 500 today is because I do think a reversal is going to be coming. A reversal after the S&P 500 has gone on this absolutely, can we just take a second here? Absolutely insane move. Team, let's break this all on down together and let's make sure every single person understands what's coming on up. So I'm going to go over to Fox Runner as I always do. Click again the news alerts, scroll on down, and let's take a look at what they're saying about the S&P 500 today. So this is a lot of great information. Everyone listen on up. So it says the S&P 500 has made up 4% of losses in the last 2 weeks. Stock futures were higher on Thursday morning after a winning day for all three major indexes on Wednesday on the back of encouraging U.S. inflation data. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.61% during regular trading, while the S&P 500 ticked 0.38%. Higher, and NASDAQ Composite edged up 0.3%. A readout from the Labor Department on Wednesday showed that the annual inflation rate slowed to 2.9% in July, the lowest year-over-year price gain since 2021. The jump in the consumer price index was in line with what Wall Street economists has expected, according to the Dow Jones estimates, and is likely to keep a September interest rate cut by the Federal Reserve on the table. Investors will be watching for retail data, which would be coming on out at 8:30, which it did, which is why the SPY went on that crazy spike. So, what I want to talk about is right here, traders. Let's talk about what we have seen over on the S&P 500. Everyone just take a second and look at this chart. Take a second, bring in this chart, soak it in. Spiked on up, monster sell-off, bouncing all the way back on up. This is pretty nuts to see. So what does it say right here? It says, let's be honest. Over the past 30 days, the S&P 500 has been a roller coaster to investors. Let's recap the SPY's month. July 16th, the S&P 500 hits a new record high of 565.16. July 16th, the SPY is up nearly 18% on the year. By August 5th, the S&P 500 has given back 7% in 3 weeks and drops $55 to a low of $510. So we are all the way at the top. Then we dropped 7%. We dropped all the way back on down towards $55 to the price of 510. Now by August 15th, the SPY is back up 4%. We're up $35 off a bounce and making back over half of its losses in 9 trading sessions. So really, the S&P 500 has had its most violent, most rapid, most insane moves over the last 30 days. We have seen up, 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 up. Let's hit a brand new record high. Highest the stock market has ever been. Then let's crash all the way back on down. But then again, days later, let's just spike all the way back on up. This is what the S&P 500 has done for us so far. Spiked on up, new record high, crashed all the way on down, find support, and let's bounce our way all the way back on up. That's pretty wild to be seeing how the SPY is doing this and the recovery that the SPY has done. The SPY has been green 7 out of the last 8 days now. So we need to ask ourselves, or we have to say, when is this going to reverse? It says, please be aware. 550 will be very strong resistance today. Even though the SPY has been on a great bounce, 550 will be an area where we will see profits be taken. Not only that, but we'll be reaching the current downtrend on the SPY daily. More on this below. So you can actually see that we do have a big downtrend over on the S&P 500 since that record high back in July. So we actually have a lot of things going on, and I just wanted to give you guys like an update of what's happening over on the S&P 500, making sure everyone's getting a great overview, making sure everyone is understanding what we want to be looking at. We know the SPY's been crazy. We know that there has been some great news that come on out. The SPY's record highs came all the way on down, bounced all the way back on up, and now we need to be aware that we are coming up towards around 550 today. So Dek, what are you going to be looking at? What are you going to be thinking? I think the perfect entry today is going to be a put contract probably right above 550. I think we will get some sort of rejection at around the price of 550. I think we could see an upper shadow, maybe the first 30 minutes, we spike ourselves on up, we hit 550, we get rejected back on down. Traders, let's just take a look at this. If we take a look at the daily chart, we have come up to 549, we got rejected. We came up to 550, we got rejected. We came up to 550, we got rejected. We broke 550, we had a breakout. We came back down to 550, we had a bounce play. We came back on down to 550, we had a bounce play. We fell underneath 550, we had a big sell-off. We came on up towards 548, rejected. 549, rejected. 548, 548. Came up, looked like it was going to break 550, big rejection. What I think is happening is we are going to get some sort of reversal at around the price of 550. Now, I cannot tell you if it's going to be at 549.50. I cannot tell you if it's going to be at 550. I can't tell you if it's going to be at 551. But I do think within this next $3 area, we are going to see a spike and we're going to see selling. We're going to see profit taking. We're coming up near record highs once again. We're coming up to an area that has resistance, resistance, breakout, bounce play, resistance, 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 fake out, breakout, massive sell off, and now we're coming back up to it. I think there is a great chance today that we hit this area and then we start coming on down. Well, Dek, what's the exact price to the penny? Unfortunately, I can't tell you that. Unfortunately, no one can tell you that. But it does look like 550 is going to be a very strong resistance area. It's going to be an area where we could easily see a reversal back on down. It's going to be an area where people are going to be saying to themselves, hey, you know what? Let's see if we're going to, let's see if we can get some put contracts. Oh yeah, let's lock in profits at this mark. So I will be watching very closely the S&P 500 to see if this is going to be able to hold itself on up. Let's see what else we have going on here though today. All right, we have a couple other plays that we definitely want to be looking at. And CING is one of the top dogs here. So what's going on with CING at this time? Guys, let's go ahead and break it on down. It's always, again, broken on down on Fox Runner. Just a little heads on up. All the answers every single day are just given to you guys over on the scanner, over on this platform. You just click the news alerts tab and basically it'll tell you guys exactly what to be looking for on the day. So what do we have right here? We have CING at this time. And it says CING just spiked 160%. So CING, what was the press release that came on out? It says the European patent for lead asset CTX1301 for the treatment of ADHD. So this, again, press release right here is talking about issuing a European patent. So it's not like they have positive results. It's not like anything along these lines. It just comes on down to they have a patent. Now, patents aren't that crazy. Patents aren't that wild. But what I do want you guys to realize is this is the #1 top gainer on the day today. So this is what I want you guys to see here. Look at this. This is really good. It says the number one thing to watch on the stock today will be if it can hold above its 50-day moving average. Take a look at the daily chart, for instance. Over the last 4 spiking attempts on CING, each one ended after reaching the 50-day moving average, the blue line. This is starting to become a habit for traders here. What will turn CING into a breakout stock today would be if it can break $5 and hold $5. This will show that the 50-day moving average has been broken. Now the sky is the limit. So take a look at this, guys. CING, we came on up to the 50-day moving average, the blue line. We broke it. We gave everything back. We came on up to the 50-day moving average. We came on up, kind of broke it for a second, gave everything on back. We came on up towards the blue line, the 50-day moving average. We hit it. Guess what? We give it all on back. So you guys could see CING here. Like, what do we have? CING. Take a look. If I again make my chart the same here, you can see touch gives it all back, touch gives it all back, touch gives it all back. Right now we are sitting at the price of 430. We are going to have that 50-day moving average right around the price of what? 530. This play came on up to the 50-day moving average, gives it all back. Comes on up to the 50-day moving average, gives it all back. I mean, we definitely have to stick with this habit. We definitely have to stick with the understanding of what we have right now, knowing that when we hit the 50-day moving average, we tend to give everything on back. We hit the 50-day moving average, we give it all on back. So that's what I want you guys to see. Touch it, give it back. Touch it, give it back. Touch it, give it back. 50-day moving average, definitely going to be a play that we want to be watching. Definitely want to be a play that we are going to be aware of. CING, high watch and high alert. Okay, so this is going to be a great one for shorters. CING, number one top gainer with a spike of 150%, did come out with patent news. 350 is going to be its main support line. 50-day moving average is strong resistance, 10 million in float. All right. We can also see again by the all news, CING is the number one top press release today. So there is nothing better than CING today. CING, again, European patent for its lead asset. If we want to take a look into it a little bit more, it's not really anything else is really here. It just comes on down to the fact that it just has, that patent for treatment, not treatment press release, but a patent for treatment. This is a stock with a lower float though, only about 4 million in float. Definitely could go on a very big rip and definitely could go on a very big run. But CING is really our top dog. There were a few other plays though. What else were we looking at today? Walmart, little heads on up. Walmart is up 6% on its earnings beat this morning. That could definitely help again, bring up the S&P 500. Walmart up 6% from its earnings beat. Walmart beat its quarterly earnings and revenue expectations. So that is great. You could see again everything broken down right here if you guys are interested in looking into Walmart. And then we also did see SPRC this morning, which was up 150%, but it looks like it's given basically everything back. So SPRC, guys, this is a play that did come out with a press release last night. So this one again regards the upgrade of Automax merger. SPRC, this stock is currently up 155%, not anymore, but this is a play that was looking to spike up towards $1. It came out with a press release last night on merger news. So I would, again, keep your eyes still peeled over on SPRC. It's even cracking underneath that 60-cent line of support, but that one's not really doing too much here. So guys, what do you guys really want to be focusing on today? Number one, we are going to be watching again CING, the number one top gainer of the day. And number two, the main focus of myself today is going to be the S&P 500 to look for a reversal somewhere right around that 550 mark. Get involved right around 550. Let's see if we can reverse back on down. Let's see if we can keep on dropping. The last thing that we can, again, also be looking at here, team, is just previous top gainers. So previous top gainers right here, we do have ALBT and GNLN. Let's just see if these plays could possibly be, something that we want to be looking at today. So number one, do we want to look at ALBT? Is this stock still alive or is this stock giving everything back? Unfortunately, this stock is a whole bunch of hot garbage. This is a play that basically spiked on up. Shorters ran on in on this play and just gave everything back right here. So ALBT, cross it off the list. Other than that, we got GNLN right here. Anything that we want to get involved in this play? GNLN's not a bad play. GNLN traders, this stock went from $2, spiked up to $20. What would you guys say? This is a little bit of a mid-candle breakout pattern, right? So GNLN, not bad. I would say let's keep this one on our watch list. So if you're again saying right now, hey, Dek, what stocks are on your watch list? So again, I would just say stocks to watch right here. I would say again, SPY, obviously. Walmart did beat its earnings, so we will watch that. GNLN, that's going to be something that we definitely want to be looking at. And then last but not least, the number one top gainer of the day, which is what? CING, right? So CING. So these are going to basically be, the top plays that I think are going to probably get, the most amount of hype, the most amount of action, the most amount of momentum behind it. So keep these ones on high alert today as you guys are trading, as these are all plays that can, get very exciting. So traders, let's see here. Let's see what is going to be able to get that momentum for us. Now, last thing I do want to be looking at as well is let's go over to the economic calendar. Let's just see what we have over on the economic calendar. See, is there any news today? Ooh, guys, look at this. Hold on a second. Take a look, guys. 8:30 jobless claims. 8:30, 8:30, 8:30, 8:30, 8:30. A lot of news at 8:30. So that's why a little heads on up. If we take a look at the SPY, you guys can even see that the S&P 500 got that big jump right at 8:30. So 8:30, we got that jump because we did come on out with more data right here. Now, also on top of that, guys, anything coming out, 9:15, we have some news, and 10 o'clock, we also have some news. So we might be seeing a little bit of shift in direction, a little bit of change in direction coming on up at 9:15, or excuse me, not 9:15, 9:15 is already passed, 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock, we definitely want to be looking at it. Now, the other thing that you guys can see that I'm definitely looking at is we do have a little bit of this like downtrend here, but I even think we're above that downtrend at this moment. So we are above that downtrend, right? And that downtrend seems like it was more right around that 546-ish mark, but it just comes on down to how high can this go on up? I really want to look for puts above the price of 550, 551. Like that would be like, I think like the perfect area. We can hit 551 or so. We could definitely look for some puts and some reversals. We just know, again, 550 natural resistance, $1, $5, $10, $25, $50, $100, $250, $500. Like 550 is just a nice, natural, strong whole number that should be able to get some sort of profit taking after having an 8 out of 9 day bounce play of, again, $35. We bounced back on up $35, basically straight on up. I think 550 could definitely give us some resistance. So that is what I am looking for at this moment, traders. I want to make sure that we're all good, ready to go. I'm pumped, I am excited, and I am absolutely jacked on up. As you guys know as well, yes, I finished off my segment of the summer boot camp. And for those that joined us over on that summer boot camp, man, it was absolutely awesome. So I just went from August 12th to August 14th in the summer boot camp right here. And each day we did about 2.5 hours. So we came on up towards about 8 hours of education. Now, for those who were in the summer boot camp with me over the last 3 days, how'd you guys like it? We didn't do any PowerPoints. We weren't doing anything that we have done in the past. Everything was fresh. Everything was new. Everything was more of me teaching you interactively, live, right here, making sure you guys understood it. I didn't want to do, again, 3 days of 3 hours each of PowerPoints. I wanted to, again, talk to you and break things on down and make it even better, more interactive, more exciting for you to learn about. So I hope you guys had an absolute blast with, again, myself, learning everything that I know about the stock market. Now, starting today, you guys are working with AK. Next week, you guys got Kush. End of next week, Zach Hopper. So you guys have a stacked, again, end of this week and a big next week as well for, again, the summer boot camp for those that are a part of it. Rock off. Thank you so much, buddy. Shout out to everyone that was here. TB trade. No, I still have to do that, TB. So I got you. I will send those on out, though, as promised. So let's get ourselves all pumped and dialed in on today. Let's get ourselves ready to go here. I'm absolutely jacked on up. Absolutely jacked. Right now, it's nice. We got a few minutes to kind of, let everything settle on in. We got 2 minutes here. I can get myself all ready to rock. I can get myself ready to go here. Figure out, what stock I really want to be trading. All right, team. 928 in the market. I'm going to bring over my scanners, make sure that everything is all set. Now, I know we're starting to put together this game plan. I know that we're starting to put together this idea. I know we're starting to put together this trading plan right here. So I just want to make sure every single person is ready to rock. Here's again S&P 500 or SPY on the bottom chart. I'm going to bring up my other charts as well. We still got a full minute until the market opens on up. I will look for put contracts. If we start crossing that 550, 150 area, I think we could easily get some great put contract opportunities just because I think there's great reversal opportunity. So, getting ourselves all set right now. We have 9:29, 30 seconds. Market opens up here in the next 30 seconds. I always like to trade SPX, as you guys know, right? I don't trade SPY too often. I trade SPX. The reason why I trade SPX is just going to be a little bit crazier. I'm going to look for not today's expiration, tomorrow's expiration. We are going to be having a pretty large gap up, so I want to wait to see where SPX gaps up towards. And then I will be looking for 1 contract, 2 contracts, 3 contracts, put contract side, seeing this reversal. How high can we get up to? I think we can get up towards the high 551s all the way into the 552s for us to be able to get that reversal area. So now, traders, we are live. We are open. Let's see where, again, SPX is up to 5,507. So 5,500, and let's just go with, if it does keep on spiking, we can go 5,510 put contracts, market orders. Let's be ready to watch this to see if we are going to start breaking some highs. Go up towards, again, 550, 150, 552, jumping on some put contracts and see what where that takes us. So far, the SPY has been moving in a very strong manner towards the upside. Remember, our whole entire idea here is what? The whole entire idea is the S&P 500 has moved up 8 out of the last 9 days. The S&P 500 has now spiked $45 from the bottom. From the bottom to where we currently are at is a $45 bounce play. We have been able to make back nearly this entire loss within a week. That is crazy. So, I think things are getting a little bit too wild. I think as we come up towards 550 natural resistance, we could start seeing pullbacks. I think, again, after seeing this strong of a bounce, this quick in a time frame, as we come up to strong natural resistance, I think we could start seeing a little bit of a turn. So 550 is the number. 550 is the area. 550 is the goal. And we're at 550.09, as you guys can see. Traders are going to be saying, ooh, I'm pulling the trigger right now. I do think pullback is going to be around that 550 mark. But as you guys know, unfortunately, there's no way to actually know what is going to be the exact dollar amount, the exact penny amount. Is it going to be 550.09? Is it going to be 550.62? Is it going to be 551? I just think it's going to be between 550 to 552 area, where I do think that we could easily see a reversal and a fade back on down near the 50-day moving average. So I would like to see this go up higher, go up higher, and go up higher, because the higher we go up, the better chance we have of profit taking in the future. The higher we go on up, the better chance we have of seeing people say, hey, you know what? We just bounced $45 in a couple of days. Maybe, again, we should start seeing a bounce play. Maybe we should start seeing a reversal. Maybe we should start taking some profits. So that's the whole idea of what I'm looking at here. S&P 500, 515.15 so far is that high. I'm doing tomorrow's expiration because I don't want to be caught up in any sort of time decay, anything along those areas. Right now, S&P 500 still having a little bit of trouble right around that 550.15 mark. For those that are in on put contracts right now, again, it could be the top. Again, there always is that could be. That could be the top area. That could be the dropping area. That could be, again, the area where we start seeing some reversals. That could be the area that is going to hold up as that top mark. We take a look over on the daily chart right here. We know, again, the daily chart. We can put a line right across 550. Look how many times we touch it. Hit 550, get rejected. Hit 550, get rejected. Breakout. Bounce off 550. Bounce off 550. Top resistance, top resistance, top resistance. Fake out, breakout. Big sell-off. I mean, it's just that 550 mark is going to be the area. So we all know this. It just comes on down to timing. We all know this. It just comes on down to timing. Where is the perfect time? Where is the perfect opportunity? Is it 550? Do we, again, spend our money at 550, jumping on this play and look to be able to hold this? Or are we going to snap that 550, go up towards 550, 140 or something like that? Coming back on up here, traders. We also know we do have some news coming on up right around 10 o'clock. 9:33 in this market, traders. S&P 500, all eyes on it. Now also remember, CING. Number one thing about CING is what? Every single time we have hit the 50-day moving average, it's been rejected. You break and hit the 50-day, you get rejected. Break and hit the 50-day, you get rejected. Break and hit the 50-day, you get rejected. If I had to put my money on it, I'm going to assume that we are going to run on up, hit the 50-day moving average, maybe get a little bit of a pop, and then fall back on down. That's my assumption. Now, Dek, why are you coming up with some sort of crazy ideas? My crazy ideas is it happened in the past, it happened in the past, it happened in the past. Let's just say hypothetically, this is a little dark example, but let's say hypothetically, you start dating a brand new guy or you start dating a brand new girl, and their last relationship broke up because that person cheated on their significant other. And then again, they broke up with the person before that because again, they cheated on their significant other. And they broke up before that because they cheated on their significant other. Guys, guess what? Could you be shocked? Could you be shocked if the person cheats on you? If you are with someone who has been broken up with 3 times for cheating? I mean, I know. It's like, Dek, who broke your heart? Don't ask me about it. But I'm saying as an example here, traders. As an example, as an analogy. You can understand what might happen in the present moment from what has happened in the past. You might say, oh, Dek, people change. People change. They might learn to love. Don't give me that. They don't know. Right now, S&P 500, right back up towards the high of the day. Let's change the topic, huh? Let's get ourselves more dialed in here. S&P 500, we're still looking. So SPY, want to see if this thing is going to be able to break through 550. Right now, traders, we are still again watching for that 550 break. You're saying, Dek, who broke your heart? I'll never forget. I'll never forget. Hellstein, I believe her name was. She was a pen pal from Germany back in 4th grade. I would write Hellstein and she would again write me back. And I thought there was a connection. Next thing you know, the letter stopped. Ended up with some guy named Victor over in Germany. 4th grade relationship, pen pal. Guess who wrote the last letter? This guy. Guess who again licked the stamp, sent it on over in the post office. Never got an answer from Hellstein because she's with Victor now. I won't forget about it. That was my arc villain moment. Some things just don't leave you. Even again, a pen pal halfway across the world broke my heart. She doesn't know me now. I hope her and Victor are having a good life living in their cottage over in Germany. Right now, traders, we are still looking to see if this is going to be popping on up over on the S&P 500, right back up towards highs. New high of the day. New high of the day right now, traders. S&P 500 still going. And S&P 500 still trying to move. Guys, SPY still trying to push itself on up. Got up to 550.22. Let me ask you guys this. Is there anyone in on puts yet? Is there anyone in on puts right now at 550.10, 550.15? Dek, I pulled the trigger at 550.20. Is there anyone right now already in on puts just saying, I don't want to miss the drop if the drop happens. I don't want to miss the reversal if the reversal happens. I'm pulling the trigger there right now. So we do have still a little bit of an uptrend. There still is a little bit of an uptrend at this time. There still is a little bit of, buying momentum at this time. Zach saying wait for a lower high, wait for a trend line crack, wait for a lower high to form, wait until again we see that this thing is reversing. I like it. Being patient, waiting for that simplicity here. I mean, the great thing is, you know, we all know the game plan. We all have the same idea. We all, again, can execute this. All it comes on down now is confidence, right? If we are confident, we can be able to make money. If we are confident, we can be able to make this cash. If we are confident and be willing to pull the trigger, we can be able to come out on top here. But we just have to be confident with every single move we make, every single trade we get ourselves involved in. S&P 500 currently testing. Now, we do know at 10 o'clock, we also do have some sort of smaller news. Nothing too wild, nothing too big. But 10 o'clock, you know, we definitely have some smaller news. How have you guys been trading the last few days that I wasn't here doing the boot camp? We had our smaller day on Monday, got rejected at the 13 EMA. Big breakout day over on Tuesday. Wednesday, we were at the 50-day moving average, and now we are clearly above the 50-day moving average. So we basically, guys, if you guys take a look at it, it's basically like been full-on sprint, hit a little wall, little pullback. Full-on sprint, hit a little wall, get a pullback. Now it's like full-on sprint again. Are we going to be able to break back up above 550 and keep on going even higher and higher and higher? All it takes is one perfect trade. All it takes is one trade, one opportunity, one moment. Mom spaghetti. Let's throw up on a sweater already. Yeah! Brat! Guys, SPY right here set itself up almost in like an ascending triangle breakout pattern. Looking to see, is the SPY going to be able to squeeze itself on up? Sky Chimp sitting on your hands right now. No clear direction. I like it. I mean, the thing is right here, what I am seeing is the ascending triangle pattern. I am seeing a setup where we are going to get a squeeze here and a move very soon. Now, there's no guarantee which way this is going to go, but I can guarantee we're going to get a move here probably within the next 5 minutes. You guys could take, or maybe again, as we see right here, you guys could see wedge. You could see how we break resistance and we break on out. See how we have this wedge? We break resistance, we break on out. You guys can see how we have this wedge. We break resistance, we again break on out. We have this wedge, we break resistance, we break on out. Again, we have this wedge right here. We break resistance, we break. I'm just kidding. That's a picture of my old dog. S&P 500 here, team. S&P 500. This stock, ETF. It is starting to turn right now. We got up to 550.22, starting to get a little bit more of this reversal. Trend line is starting to get ugly, is starting to crack. As you guys can see, the moment the trend line starts cracking, we are starting to get a little bit more of that sell-off. Deck, where could it bounce back up to? Bounce back up to 549. I would probably say, you know, probably right around that 549.75 mark. 549.75 is going to be a top resistance area. Why? Because that's right next to the pre-market highs. So if we start building these lower highs, if this does start getting this weakness, the next area to enter would be 549.75 if you believe we are going to start turning. Remember, we've been put contracts the whole entire way so far. Put contract, put contract, put contract. There has been no call contracts in our repertoire today. There's been no call contracts at all. It's all put contracts today as we are looking for reversals at 550. As we have talked about right here, and we talked about it over on Fox Runner right here, you know what? Please be aware, 550 will be very strong resistance. Even though the SPY has been on a great bounce play, 550 will be an area we see profit taking. Not only that, but we'll be reaching the current downtrend on the SPY. So it all comes on down to 550 as we know. So right here, traders, we are getting a little bit of a bounce. If we could start forming now a little bit of lower highs, a new downtrend to form, that's going to be great for us. So right now, traders still watching. What do we have? CING. Almost came out. Guys, look at this. CING team. What did it hit? 50-day moving average. Hits the 50-day moving average, gives it all back. Hits the 50-day moving average, gives it all back. Hits the 50-day moving average, gives it all back. Hits the 50-day moving average, starting to reverse. Shorters. Anyone in on shorts right now? If you guys are looking for a play, if you're saying, Deck, I need to pull the trigger. I'm so eager. I'm so excited. I'm just a greedy little bastard. I need to jump in on something right now. I would probably say again, CING going on again. The 50-day moving average. Hit that. Watch that thing to drop itself right back on down. Guys, we have CING still watching. S&P 500. S&P 500, just like we had an uptrend, right? Just like we had an uptrend, we are now going to form a lower high trend most likely. The only thing you have to worry about is just at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, we do have some sort of news. And that 10 o'clock news can definitely shift this in one way or another. When we take a look at 10 o'clock, we have business inventories and home builder confidence index. So I want to see right here. So 944. See what comes on up here next. S&P 500. SPY. SPY most likely going to get some sort of downtrend. I still think that, 549.75 mark could be a great little area. 10 o'clock, 15 minutes from now, that's where we're going to definitely start seeing some sort of reversal mark. Little bit of a pop starting to move itself back on up. We came on down towards what? 548.95 so far. 548.95 at this time, starting to a climb. Let's see if we are going to build a lower high. Just as Zach Hopper was saying before, let's see if we do get a lower high. You can jump in at 549.75 as that is where if there is going to be a lower high, most likely that's going to be the price. So we want to see that possible lower high. We know 550 is strong. We know 550 is a resistance line. We know that we're looking for lower highs. We know that we have news at 10 o'clock. These are all things, again, we're keeping in our mind. These are all things we're keeping in our head, where these are all things that we're aware of at this moment. QQQ stronger than the SPY at this time. QQQ, that has resistance at 473. So even if you are trading QQQ, which is going to be very similar to the SPY, take a look at the daily chart. Daily chart, spike on up, dump on down, get a big bounce play. Take a look at the SPY. SPY, spike on up, dump on down, get a nice bounce play. QQQ, what a lot of people trade, strong resistance, 5473. So again, 473. 473 right here, that's the 50-day moving average. That could be a great area where we start reversing. SPY right here, team. There's a little bit of that lower high. We did come up towards around the 549.60 mark. Little lower high is now starting to form. So that's a good sign. This is a great sign that weakness is starting to take on over. This is a great sign that we are starting to see some dropping. This is a great sign that we are starting to see some fading as weakness is now taking on over. Well, Dek, can we connect the bottoms and maybe form some sort of higher low as well? If you would like to, absolutely, and we can start forming this new wedge, see what's going to happen to see how good the support line will hold. So we can start getting new ideas consistently and constantly by setting up support lines, setting up trend lines, setting up where can we be able to see wedges, where can we see breaks, where can we see moves, where can we see good volume, where can we see good action, where can we jump in with confidence. That's what it's all about. Got 13 minutes until that 10 o'clock data comes on out. So right now S&P 500 still watching this. Seeing if the SPY is going to be able to hold on up. Squeeze. Look at SPY. Definitely inside this little wedge. Definitely, inside this little wedge right here. And it's probably going to just keep getting tighter and tighter and tighter until 10 o'clock. That's probably what's going to happen. And then 10 o'clock, it's going to make some sort of move. So here's a little bit of a wedge forming. We might have to adjust this slightly as time goes by. But this looks like this is what it's going to be following. This looks like what it's going to be looking at here. SPY still on watch. Watching to see if we are going to be able to move itself back on up. QQQ still going. I like it. If QQQ keeps on going, It'll give me more confidence to look for a reversal when when QQQ comes up to the 50-day moving average. If QQQ can get up to a 472, that's a great area where it could start turning, the SPY could start turning, everything could start turning. SMCI, very strong. So SMCI, this has been applied, SMCI, from 1,200 all the way down to 500. Traders, I know I've talked about this before. I'm excited for the next hype wave. I'm excited for the next trend. I mean, we can take a look at it. Let's be honest here. We know that AI, artificial intelligence, was the hype for about a year and a half straight. But now, it's definitely losing some interest. It's definitely losing the same excitement. Now, I know there's some people in here saying, no, I love AI. Tech AI, you don't know about AI. AI database again, there again, blah, blah, blah. Like, the thing is, yes, AI is cool. Don't get me wrong. But the thing is, all trends, right? All trends eventually change, right? It was cool to do something back in 1980. It's not cool to do it anymore. It's cool to do something back in 2000. It's not cool to do it anymore. The thing is, you can think about trends in fashion, trends in the stock market, The thing is, AI will not last forever. Now, I'm not saying SMCI is a bad company. I'm not saying NVIDIA is a bad company. It's not. They're great companies. But talking about them just moving up because people are buying them just because they think it's the next big thing, right? That could easily fade on off, which means they do lose investors. They do lose buyers. They do lose the same amount of gains that they've had. The thing is, you got to be ready for the next thing. Right? We've seen hype waves come on through. We've seen electric vehicles take on all the hype. We've seen cryptocurrency take on all the hype. We've seen NFTs be able to take on all the hype. We've seen artificial intelligence take off all the hype. Something else is going to come probably within the next 6 months. Probably in the next 6 months, you'll hear about something, you'll say that's stupid, and then a stock will start spiking. And you say, oh, that's stupid. And then all of a sudden it keeps on spiking. And you say, what the heck? Then you start seeing on Reddit, people again really like supporting this. Then all of a sudden it's on social media. People are like, yeah, this is it. Then all of a sudden it's on CNBC. Then all of a sudden it's on the news. Then again, 1 month goes by, 2 months go by, 3 months go by. It's still again going on up. Everyone's saying, what the heck? I need to buy in on this. Then the general public starts buying in on it. Then again, people start making TikToks and all that. Something will, I have no idea what it's going to be, but something will happen. So just stay alert on it. Right here over on Tradecaster, we have a massive community. We have everyone here. People are, again, always going to be talking and alerting and giving ideas. We'll find it. And we just got to be confident to pull the trigger when it happens. What do you guys think it is? Is it hydrogen? Is it going to be nuclear power? Is it going to be buying water supply? Is it going to be graphene? Is it going to be some sort of new crypto? Is it going to be just some sort of brand new technology? Is it going to be metaverse stuff? Is it going to be... I have no idea. Right? There's so many options. There's so many things that it could potentially be in the future. Is it quantum computing? S&P 500 here, traders. Just type in QTUM, quantum. This is the quantum computer ETF. And you can see quantum has been moving on up. Quantum's gone from $20 to now $60. So again, quantum for QTUM has been slowly and progressively moving itself on up. 200-day moving average looks like it's the best area. If you could ever get, quantum somewhere down towards around like $40, that would be, again, best area for quantum. SPY, still again sitting right around this area. Again, as I said, we are going to adjust this slightly, most likely. Adjust this wedge slightly, allow this wedge to be able to, really form. We do have 7 more minutes until we get closer towards that news. And after that news is when we can definitely start getting some more direction. Right now, SPY still watching to see where this one's heading out, going towards. And the SPY still moving itself on up as we get closer towards this 10 o'clock area. SPY still looking strong, 953 in the market. Again, so far we are just still consolidating, and so far CING has been perfect, has hit the 50-day moving average and dropped right back on down. CING hit the 50-day moving average, give it all back. S&P 500. S&P 500, we know the higher this one goes, the better chance it has a pullback. I think today is going to be a great pullback day. I think today is going to be basically a peak day. It's going to spike still. It's going to reach some highs, and then we could be able to find that thing come right back on down here. Right now, SPY moving itself back on up. 5 minutes here, traders. Let this thing go. Let this thing move. Let this thing spike. Let this thing climb. So SPY coming right back on up towards those highs. Let this thing just keep on going here, traders, especially until at least 10 o'clock. So if this thing starts grabbing some momentum, we start hitting some highs, let this thing go until some sort of news comes on out. We just came right back up towards 550. Remember, if you've done calls so far, you're basically sitting at the same area. If you've done puts so far, you're basically sitting at the same area. There has not been any sort of massive win yet because there has not been any sort of massive direction yet. Now, what we are starting to get also is we are breaking out this wedge, and we are still starting to get what here? A little bit of this U-shaped pattern where we are getting, number one, we established resistance. Now we're U-shaping up and around, and we're looking to snap resistance. That's basically what we have right here. We are establishing resistance, top resistance, U-shaping our way up and around. We're hitting that resistance once again, and it's looking to see if it's going to be able to snap. We're looking to see if it's going to be able to move itself on up. As you guys know, after again the summer boot camp coming on up this fall. Fall is my favorite time of the year to trade. Fall, guys, small account challenge. Fall prop firm challenge. I'm excited to do that. I've never done a prop firm in my life where basically you sign up, you pass a test. Once you pass a test, they give you $100,000. And I want to see how much money I can make, out of a prop firm. I know a lot of people, again, do prop firms and they are able to make livings off prop firms so I want to see how much money I can make through a prop firm. To be able to sign on up, pass the test. After I pass the test, be able to say, hey, you know what? Let's see how much money I can make. I don't know. I'm not sure what prop firm I'm going to do. I gotta look more into it. I gotta see, I gotta learn a little bit more about these prop firms. So I just want to do it right. I want to definitely get the right prop firm. Do everything the right way. S&P 500 here. SPY traders watching to see. Again, we only got a minute and a half here. See if this thing is going to be able to pop itself on up, start squeezing. Right now, S&P 500, want to see if this thing's going to pop right here. We only have about 90 seconds until we're supposed to get some sort of news. Now, again, our goal is to see this thing spike on up. And after it spikes on up, we get a clear reversal. Let's try to do something let's do something easy. Let's wait for a clear reversal. Let's not try to time the high. Let's just wait for a perfect clear reversal. How does that sound, guys? So when we are looking over on the S&P 500 at this moment, we know that the S&P 500 has a little bit more room to go. But at the same time, we know that this play has tons of room to fall. The S&P 500 right now has gone 8 out of 9 green days in a row. The S&P 500 has been able to make back a 7% in the last 9 days. We fell about, what did we fall? I think we fell 7%. We've made back about 5% in the last 9 days. Insane. I want to see what the SPY is going to do here. I want to see if the SPY is going to be able to push itself on up. I want to see if we're going to pop right here and then, be able to actually see a clear reversal to jump on in. So right now, traders, S&P 500, watching this. I want to see where the SPY is going to be heading towards. SPY right now, watching and waiting and seeing if the SPY is going to be able to work itself back on up. SPY, there's another new high. So there's a new high. $10 o'clock is here, guys. 10 o'clock just hit. Let's see if we get any sort of big dramatic jump. 10 o'clock is here. We did just hit a new high of the day of 10:35. Let's see if we are going to keep on moving here. Let's see if we're going to keep on grinding here. Let's see if we're going to just keep on pushing. We do have our very strong purple our purple line of support. That's been our main line of support so far. That purple line. Right now, we're getting a little bit of a pullback right back on down. Little upper shadow also starting to form. Where's QQQ at? QQQ. Guys, QQQ are right underneath the 50-day moving average. Now, what I also noticed about QQQ, upper shadow usually leads to a red candle. Upper shadow. Let's see if this is going to lead towards a little bit more of a sell-off. QQQ is right underneath that 50-day moving average. QQQ is going to be very similar to the S&P 500. So I'm just trying to put the pieces together right now. When I'm looking, right now at this moment, I'm trying to figure out where is the S&P 500 going to fall. We've already talked about it multiple times. We know that the S&P 500 has gone on such a strong dip buy. We have gone from 510 to now 550. Traders, a $40 bounce in a week and a half. And that was after falling $55 over about 3 weeks. $55 drop, 3 weeks. A week and a half, $40 bounce. Back on up towards highs. We know that we have strong resistance right here. We also can see that other than the S&P 500, QQQ at this time is coming on up towards its 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average is at the price of 473 over on QQQ, which is going to be very similar to the S&P 500. S&P 500 right here hitting some brand new highs. Let it keep on going. Let's let these keep on moving. Let's let them keep on spiking. Let's not try to time the perfect high of the day. We know that a reversal is due. We know that we are starting to get a little overbought. We know that things are going to be able to have opportunities for them to be able to reverse. One of the best ways, team, to know that a play or an ETF is going to start reversing is what indicator, right? Let's go over to our indicators here. Let's add the RSI, right? The RSI, one of our go-to favorite indicators to be able to make money. Right, when we have the RSI all set, let's just grab this because we still probably have about 5 to 10 more minutes of the S&P 500 moving itself on up. Let's go over to indicators. Let's just get rid of anything that is not important to us at this moment. Okay, so we're going to be getting rid of all these indicators. Right here, boom. All right, traders, let's do this together. Watch how neat this is. Watch how cool this is. Watch how great this is. This is one of my favorite things to do to understand when the S&P 500 can easily reverse. I'm going to bring this on over into Paint so we can all see it together. And let's break this thing on down. When we break this on down, I did this at the boot camp yesterday as well, 2 days ago. We went over that the S&P 500, we know are certain areas. Anything that is over the price of a 70 on the bottom right here, if we are above a 70, we know that we are considered overbought, right? And we know if we are underneath a 30, we know that we are considered oversold. So the thing is, traders, whenever we're taking a look over on the S&P 500, it gives us great intel on when we are going to get bounce plays and when we could get a reversal. So for instance, if I want to see anything that's underneath the price of a 30 on the RSI is oversold, let's just take a look at this. We are underneath a 30 right here. Let's just go straight up now. Straight up, guess what happens? 30, we are oversold. Guess what happens when a stock is oversold? We move ourselves on up. Here, S&P 500, underneath a 30. When we're underneath a 30, guess what happened? We bounce play. Right here, we are underneath a 30. Guess what happens? We get a nice big bounce play, move ourselves all the way back on up. So it's great to tell us whenever the S&P 500 is oversold, we can jump in on these plays and be able to make a whole lot of cash and make a lot of money. Same exact thing though when we're overbought. When we're overbought, you could see overbought right here, we get little pullback. You could see we're overbought right here. Guess what happens? We get pullback. We're overbought right here. Guess what happens? We get pullback. So the thing is, the S&P 500 definitely moves more up over time. But also, team, what I want you guys to really understand here is that the S&P 500, when we're oversold, great dip buys. When you are overbought, watch for, again, these things to reverse. Even if it's only for a few short days, you can still make money on it. Unfortunately, right now, we are at a 52. I thought we were going to be a little bit higher after this very rapid bounce. But the thing is, team, it's still, again, a great play that we do want to keep our eyes peeled on. Right now, S&P 500 finally starting to get a little bit of more of that clear reversal area that we are looking at. Let's again go over towards this S&P 500. Go back on over. Even just a 1 minute time frame, man. Guys, S&P 500. What was the high? 550.63. 550.63. Sean saying, hope I posted here. Oh, Sean, just send me a DM, buddy. If you ever, again, need some help, just send me a DM. Happy to help you on out, bud. So that's no problem whatsoever. I'll send you a DM right now and make sure you're all good. So you're all set. Sean, I just sent you a DM so that you're all set, ready to rock and roll. All right, absolutely gorgeous, absolutely awesome. Let's make sure every single person is good here. Guys, SPY definitely starting to get a little bit weaker here. Guys, S&P 500 definitely starting to get a little bit more of a sell-off here. Right now, S&P 500 isn't going to be able to hold itself on up. Watch for a little bit of a pop. Anything back up near around the price of 550 is going to be, I think, strong resistance. We definitely came on up towards where I think could be the high. Same exact thing when we take a look over on QQQ. QQQ, guys, came right on up towards that 50-day moving average. Right on up towards that 50-day moving average. Guess what happened? We popped on up. We hit it. We're starting to get that reversal. This is where I do think the S&P 500 is starting to get that reversal. The S&P 500 right here, team, starting to fade, starting to fall, starting to get weaker. Also at the S&P 500, we have QQQ starting to fade here, and I know we have so much opportunity to really get weak. So I want to see maybe back on up towards 550. That's where I pulled the trigger over on some put sides. I'm even going to maybe even go, because I plan on holding this a little bit longer. So I'm maybe even doing like August 19th. August 19th, allow this to be able to fade, allow this to be able to fall, allow this to be able to drop. So I want to maybe get one last little pop on up. Give us one last little pop on up, 549.75, and let's get involved. The thing is, we were waiting and watching for this clear reversal. I think this reversal is now happening. I think this reversal is now starting to fade. I think this reversal is starting to get weaker now here. S&P 500. This would be a similar like order that I'd be looking for to get myself involved on this. Again, S&P 500, top resistance 550.10, 550.10, S&P 500, 550.63. We're going to look for a little pop back on up towards around 549.75. Pull the trigger and let's see if this thing can fade and fall. So that's what I'm looking for. So I'm just giving everyone basically my clear-cut outline. We have the S&P 500 spiked on up to 549.75 in pre-market, spiked on up to 550.20, 550.25, 550.60, but then we just cracked. We just came on up to the S&P 500 to strong resistance areas as we have talked about. We know that we are going to have some very strong resistance right at 550. Been rejected here, been rejected here, been rejected here. Bounce play right here, been rejected right here. Coming up towards this mark right here, we're looking for that touch to be able to get rejected back on down. Not only that, we do have QQQQ, where we know again QQQQ does have 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average at the price of $5.47 just came $1 underneath it, starting to get rejected back on down from there. So I am ready to rock and roll. I am ready to pull the trigger. I just want to see one final little pop to build our lower high, probably back on up towards this area, this orange line. We hit this orange line, I'm pulling the trigger, I'm going back in on this play, looking for this one to be able to fade and fall and be able to really get my sell off on the day. Back down to 548, 547, 546. I don't want it to sell off just yet. I want one more little bounce and then I'm in. One more little bounce and I'm in. If you say, Deck, I don't want to miss this, I don't want to miss this sell-off, then go in small. Go in with 1 or 2 contracts right now if you guys want to. But I think, again, we definitely have that clear reversal at this point. So here's a little bit of that pop. That's what I want. Give me a little bit more of this pop. Let's see this reversal back on down. See this fade. S&P 500, August, or SPX, August 19th. 5,515, putting myself slightly in the money. Give us a little bit more. I want to see like 549.70 area. And then again, pull the trigger, start seeing that reversal, start seeing that main weakness as we fall back on down to sub 549. Just came on up to 549.40. We want this to go up a little bit higher. We don't want the sell-off just yet. We want a little bit higher, 549.75 area. That's where I'm going to pull the trigger and start seeing that weakness, start seeing that main fade back on down is the goal. And it really just comes on down to the pure fact is I'm not trying to do anything special. I'm really not. I'm not trying to do anything special whatsoever. I'm just saying after having a $45 bounce play, after seeing the S&P 500 come up to very strong resistance, to see 8 out of the last 9 days be green on basically a straight up move from 510 all the way up to 550, I'm just being realistic that if I was in at 510, I'd be taking profits at 550. 550 is a natural resistance line. 550 after, again, 8 days of spiking seems like it's a pretty great area as we are coming up slowly back up towards those record highs. To be able to see, oh wow, basically a week and a half of straight up movement, yeah, I'm going to probably take some gains because I get nervous probably someone else is going to be taking gains, which again, more people, that could lead towards that red day upcoming. On top of that, QQQQ, 50-day moving average, also right at this area. So I'm just trying to put the pieces together of this puzzle. That's it. Looking for a lower high now. So we are all set, traders. Still, again, looking for this one to pop itself on up a little bit higher. I have August 19th, so I don't have to worry about any sort of time decay. 5,515. Basically, it's going to be right at the money area, maybe slightly in the money. And then look for this one to be able to reverse itself back on down. Guys, doing my first trade right here. First trade entered. First trade entered at this time. Second trade entering at this time. These are the areas that I like. These are the areas that I am focusing on. These are the areas that I'm looking at this moment. Because I do think there is a lot of opportunity to be able to see that reversal as I talked about. So I am in right now at this moment over on S&P 500 or on SPX, looking to see, are we going to be reversing right around this mark? I am looking essentially for that lower high to develop, showing that we are now building weakness. Dek, why did you enter at the area that you did? Because that's right at the pre-market highs. Pre-market high right here, faded on off. 550, 550, breakout towards a new high of the day. Now I'm looking to see if we are going to reverse. I could see that we did have a very nice uptrend. That uptrend as well is also holding up as resistance. Now on top of that, I'm looking for a new downtrend to start forming as we could potentially form these lower highs. So this is kind of like more of the idea that I'm looking for. This, uptrend that's starting to crack, downtrend starting to form, getting in just sub 550 after hitting a brand new record high, and now on top of that, getting in near pre-market resistance. So this is the area that I'm in on to start off with 3 contracts and $8,460 investment. So that is where I am at this moment, watching to see what this may be doing next. A lot of the strong resistance, as we know, is going to be sitting right around that 550-ish mark. A lot of this strong resistance, what is it? 550.25, 550.25. Then we spiked on up towards, again, a new high of 550.63. Right now, my entry is right around 549.70. So I'm probably sitting right around 549.70, currently probably down about 15 cents at this moment. I wouldn't add any more until I actually start seeing some, a reversal. I don't want to be adding if this thing keeps on going on up. If this thing keeps on going on up, I'd rather just move on from this play, get out and try to look for a better entry rather than keep trying to average in. It's been 45 minutes. I believe I gotten in at a very great area. I'm very happy with the area that I've gotten in on, but I don't want to add on to this if it just keeps going up. So right now, the S&P 500, I am in on this play right now, looking to see if we have that reversal and see if we get a red candle and start dropping. Right now, we did just get a little bit of a pullback. I like that. Right now, I am sitting with an $8,460 investment, looking to see if we are going to be able to start turning. Now, again, the good thing about this candle here is I want to see some lower highs form. As again, these lower highs form, that shows weakness. Lower highs are going to show us that this play is now starting to get that true reversal. We're actually going to start getting that opportunity where, yes, we have a top and then we spike ourselves on up and it can't get back up to 550. I don't want to see this play get back up towards those areas. I want to see this play basically touch this mark, get a pullback down to 548. Touch this mark, get a pullback. Touch this mark, get a low pullback. Same exact thing we do on the upside. On the upside, we touch this mark, we go on a spike. Little pullback, we touch this mark, we go on a spike. We touch this mark, but consistently you move on up. I'm looking for the opposite now. I'm looking for, we touch this mark, we have a pullback. We touch this mark, we consolidate, we get a dump. We again maybe move up a little bit, we touch this mark, we get a dump. So I'm really just looking for consistently seeing if we can touch and dump. Fall, consolidate, touch and dump. Fall, consolidate, touch and dump. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the switch now. So the S&P 500 traders. Now this is also very important. I got in on August 19th expirations. Not August 15th, not August 16th, August 19th. Today's Thursday. Obviously, you guys know that. I am again putting in contracts for Monday. Now, Dek, why are you putting in on contracts for Monday? Because I don't want to be facing in heavy time decay. I don't want to be facing heavy theta. I don't want to be all of a sudden in on a play where I know it's going to be a play that I'm probably going to hold for a little bit. And then the next thing you know, I'm not making money because I'm not getting a dump right away. Nothing's more frustrating than doing research, than being correct, than understanding exactly what you want to do on the stock. And then guess what? It does what you want it to do, but it just doesn't do it as fast as you want it to do. And the S&P 500 falls down to 546, but it does it very slow. And because it does it very slow, guess what? That takes a large portion of the day and you don't even end up making any money. That's brutal. Imagine if you, again, predict the right play, predict the right time to jump in, predict the right stock, predict the right movement, and you still don't get paid. So the thing is, I would rather, again, do a farther out expiration, pay a little bit more, but at least I get myself more time. At least I give myself a better opportunity. At least, again, I jump in and say to myself, all right, hey, I can be able to jump in for this reason on this play because I like it. So right now, traders, I'm still watching this move. Looking to see where we are going to reverse at, if we are going to get this reversal. Right now, again, SPY. We know we have, if we want to also think about it in this manner, you could also say, Dek, we're basically just inside one big channel, right? Our main support line has been 548.83. That has been a fact, that this has been bouncing right off this area. Another fact is we have had a lot of strong resistance right around 550.25. That has also been a fact. So if you are saying, Dek, I like the put side, but I just don't like the put side yet, you could wait until you come back up towards this top red line. That's an opportunity for you to be able to get filled if you are interested in getting filled towards that area. So the S&P 500, we have been inside this channel nearly, throughout this whole entire morning so far, and we are looking to see, are we going to be able to get some sort of change in this channel, a breakout or a dump back on down. So right here, team. Well, Dek, why'd you jump in at your area if we see a channel? Because I was looking for lower highs. So I jumped in because I'm looking for lower highs out of my area. That's, again, what I was focusing on. Now, the thing is, we are starting to break these lower highs. So if we start breaking these lower highs, which we have right here, it is going to bring in a little bit of buying volume. So the thing is, team, let's see what's going to happen. Are we going to be able to come back on up towards 550.25, or are we going to start fading back on down and we can adjust this downtrend and still have lower highs, but again, we just have to adjust it and make it a little bit different. Right now, I'm just watching. You guys know I'm in on this play. Giving myself some time. My entry is going to be right around that 549.70 mark, 549.68 mark. So, I'm coming back to even almost on this play. Now, yes, even as time goes by, even though I'm 3 days out on expiration, it's still going to have some sort of time decay. If we sit at 549.70 for the rest of the day, I still probably will be down, $1,000, just because that's the way time decay works. S&P 500. Right here, traders, S&P 500 still getting its fair share of little pops every now and then. My live P&L is right here. Seeing what's going to be coming on up. We do know, again, 559.25's next main resistance line. We have a high of the day of 550.63. Dek, are you going to get out if this thing keeps on spiking? I mean, yeah, absolutely. I don't want to just keep on holding it if it keeps on going on up. The thing is, we do know we have our top red resistance lines. Top red resistance, top red resistance, top red resistance at this moment. Seeing again if we can hit and start getting reversal. Now, if we can hit and start getting some red candles, I'm actually going to add them. Bring up my cost basis slightly, be able to, slowly work ourselves back on down towards this blue line, right? That would be the best case scenario. So if we can hit, reverse, hit, reverse, hit, reverse, and we hit and we start reversing, I will add and go up towards 4-5 contracts instead of, again, having an entry at the price of 470 or 449.70. Have an entry more closer towards 449.90. So right now we are still holding right around that 550-ish mark. We're still, again, building on up here slightly. We're still looking to see how well is this going to be able to hold on up. Anything underneath the price of 550 I'm happy with. If we are underneath 550 and we keep having 550 hold up as resistance, that's great news. 550 consistently holding up as resistance, that's a great, great news for me. That's great news to show that, again, 550 is natural resistance. It's going to be a troubling area. Just like, again, if we take a look across the board, every single time we have hit 550, once we fell, twice we fell, 3 times we fell. The 4th time right now, we're also falling. So as we know, it has just been, please be aware, 550 will be very strong resistance. Even though the SPY has a great bounce, 550 will be an area we see profit taking. And we really just want to see that one sell-off. That's what it comes on down to. We all know 550 is tough to break above. If it breaks above it, we have seen it go up to 550.25 and fall back down every single time. If this can't hold it, are we eventually going to get a sell-off? Or eventually we're going to get a big short squeeze and spike on up to 551. Are we going to squeeze all the way up towards, 552? That's the thing that we need to look at. Right now at this moment though, we do still have the S&P 500 on a little bit more of this uptrend area. So the S&P 500 is still a little bit more on this uptrend on the within its channel. Dek, how do I know I can be confident over on the S&P 500? We need this to fall back on down towards like 549.70. Back underneath 549.70 would be breaking the small uptrend, and that would be, again, most likely leading towards the sell-off back down towards the blue line. So you can do this on multiple times. Look at this, guys. Go right here. That's the uptrend. Notice when you go from bullishness, you go back to the bearishness side, you get the sell-off. Notice what you have right here. You have your bullishness. Guess what happens? You go to the bearishness side, you get a sell-off. So we have our bullishness. Guess what we're looking for? We're looking to see if we can go back to our bearishness side. That's where the sell-off happens. Now, I'm also going to be extremely blunt and extremely honest with you. If we don't go back to the bearish side, traders, guess what? This is still bullish. This is where it could squeeze and keep on going up even higher. So you must realize right now, we do have bullishness, bullishness, bullishness. Underneath it, bearishness, bearishness. What we're looking for is bearishness. So I'm not adding on to this play at all, unless, again, we go back to the bearishness side. I am not adding on to this play if, again, we stay on the bullish side. It's not a smart move to add on to the play on the bullish side. I would rather, again, wait until we go to the bearish side, then add on to this play. Right? So right now, it is still, again, moving itself on up. It's still holding its gains. I'm still in on this play. I want to see, I would have definitely have a stop loss coming on up. But I'm still going to hold this because I know we've had one touch fall, two touch fall. Now, what else is this also looking like to you? To me, when I'm taking a look over on this play, I'm thinking this play has opportunity to be this, right? I see left shoulder here. I see head right in the middle. And I see a right shoulder where we could get a sell-off. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, sell-off. We're an hour in the market. We have left shoulder, head, right shoulder we're looking for, and we're looking for that sell-off. That's all I'm looking for at this moment. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, sell-off. Underneath this uptrend, I'll look to add more, bring up my cost average, add a little bit more in my investment, and be able to make money. Not adding anything on the bullish side. Not adding anything on the bullish side. Now, if you are a trader who said, Dek, I haven't added anything yet. I'm not even in on this play. Wait until you crack this uptrend then. Wait until you crack this uptrend because it's not worth going on the put side while we're still on the bullish side of this play. Make sense? So we are still watching and waiting over on this one. I am currently down just about $1,000 here. And I want to see if this thing can get a crack. Give us our crack on our head and shoulders pattern. Shoulder, head, shoulder. I would love to see that crack. I would love to see that reversal because then I could add more in on this play. I could be able to get that reversal and be able to make some money. At the same time, if I'm thinking about my trade, Dek, what do you like about your trade? What do you dislike about your trade? I like how, again, I'm getting it on the put side. I like how I gave myself 3 days of expiration. I like how, again, I'm jumping in next to 550 resistance. I like how I've waited an hour before I even pulled the trigger. I don't like how I pulled the trigger, though, on a bullish uptrend still. I was looking for a downtrend. I was looking for a little bit of reversal, but I did jump in still on the bullish side of this uptrend. That would be the only thing I would criticize about my trade here. Now, again, I got to see this thing turn and fall and fade here. I do need to get out soon if this play, again, starts running on up. So we do have this main resistance line that we've been holding, we've been watching. It's, again, still sitting right at this area. We have not cracked this trend line, so I can't add on to this play. Well, Dek, just add on to this. Bring your average up. That's not the smart move while on the bullish side. It's not the smart move while being on the bullish side. So we're still bullish until we go underneath. It seems like at this price, it would be crack of 550 is where we are considered bearish now. Underneath 550, we are considered bearish. QQQQ is coming on up towards what? QQQQ still has $1. It could potentially move. Now, again, QQQQ has room to run up to 573. This is another area why I think the S&P 500 could easily fall. We hit again 573, we fade on down. We hit 573, we fade on down. We hit 573, we fade on down. We hit 573, we fade on down. We're right next to the areas where I really do think we have opportunity to be able to get that sell-off. S&P 500, though, the thing that is just annoying is that it's still on its channel and still holding its uptrend. It's on its channel. It's still holding its uptrend at this moment. Still on its channel, still holding its gains. Still on its channel. I cannot add on this until it cracks that uptrend. Guys, here's a new high, unfortunately. New high, unfortunately, at this moment. Still trying to push itself on up a little bit. I cannot add anything until this play again cracks that uptrend. We can all see it. We can all see what's happening here. Gotta wait until this uptrend cracks for anything on my side. Going with the shampoo strategy. What's the shampoo strategy? Basically, rinse and repeat. So that's, yeah, that's a great way to put it. Rinse and repeat. Spike, drop. Spike, drop. Spike, drop. Rinse and repeat. S&P 500 here, traders. Looking for that, reversal if we can get it. That head and shoulder. Well, right now it's still holding, guys. Still on the bullish side. And again, you just can't fight it. The worst thing to ever do right now is number one, worst thing is to jump in on this play, or worst thing is number two, again, average in higher while you're still bullish. So again, we are not averaging in on this thing at all until this thing cracks. That's it. Not going to put more money against the highway. Everyone's driving this way. I'm not going on incoming traffic. Game of patience, game of waiting at this point. Game of patience, game of waiting. Game of watching to see if we are going to be able to turn in reverse. Watching for that possible trend to crack. Now, Dek, where would this trend be completely cracked? Underneath the price of 550.25. Back underneath 550.25 would be showing a lot more weakness. Back underneath the price of 550.25 would be showing us that we are starting to fade back on down. But underneath the price of 550.25 shows us that we're dropping. We also do still have QQQQ here, which is right next towards its record highs as well. Still has $1 potentially to move up towards the price of 573. So we still have, again, 573.50. I mean, this is just, we are right next to where I believe the reversal area is. As I said earlier this morning, team, I cannot give you the perfect reversal area. The reversal area might be 550, it might be 551.25, but it's going to be within this area, and that's the toughest thing to nail. The toughest thing to nail is going to be nailing within this area. 551, 550, 550.75, 551.25. It's going to be within this area, and there's just no way to ever know, so you have to just average in when you guys can. So the SPY, still again holding, still has not cracked that uptrend. Right now, uptrend is still good at this moment. And this is also, again, one of the number one reasons why I did non-today expiration date. I did not want to now, let's say, be in the red and then have time decay going against me as well. Remember, traders, we want to do everything we can to limit our emotions as a trader. We want to do everything we can to just stick to a game plan. We want to do everything we can to be able to say, hey, you know what? I want to get involved into an option. I want to get involved into a stock. I want to be able to get involved into a short and not have to worry about outside factors. I don't want to worry about time decay and expiration dates. I don't want to worry about implied volatility and strike price. I don't want to be worried about that. I want to look at the chart and say, okay, if this stock goes down, I make money. If the stock goes up, I make money. Right? There's so much that we have to worry about. Let's not add anything that, could only make us get more emotional. Let's not add anything else that could hurt ourselves as a trader. Let's again keep things as simple as we can, and let's just make consistent money. So that's why I did 2 days out expiration and started off by putting myself in the money right away. So traders, we are watching this, looking to see if we can get that little pullback, See if we can start getting a little bit more of a drop. We are testing this uptrend once again here over on the S&P 500. Guys, we are getting our first little potential of the trend line crack, where we do have spike, pullback, spike, pullback, spike. You can see it's still holding though. Still just basically trying to hold right here. We need to see that if it's going to be able to actually get a dump underneath that area. It almost had it there for a second, but it's still been the line that everyone is still consistently holding. This has been the line that traders have been consistently holding on up. This has been the line that, you know, as you guys could see so far, 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce, 4 bounce. This is the 5th bounce off this uptrend. This is the 5th bounce off this uptrend so far over on the S&P 500. All right, now SPY still again holding its gains. Not going to add against this. QQQQ also right here still again holding its gains. This is right next to, as we know, the 50-day moving average area. Again, I'll switch that on out. Thank you so much. So I'm just trying to give this some time. I know, again, I feel like traders, I feel like the moment I get out of this play, if I do get out, is when that reversal happens. Anyone else feel like that, you know, ever? It's like, oh man, I know the put contract's coming. I know, again, QQQQ is going to have rejection at around the price of that 473. We know, again, the S&P 500 has had 8 out of the last 9 days be green, and we know we're going to get some sort of rejection somewhere right around this 551 mark. We know there's going to be trouble. And it's just, we don't want to lose money. We don't want to put ourselves in bad place. But at the same time, we also want to understand that that rejection, that contract, that reversal is going to be coming up here soon. And right now it's still grinding though. Right now it is still grinding. Right now we still have that, you know, momentum towards the upside. It has just been this one big uptrend so far. I am going to continuously hold right here, team. I am going to hold for a little bit. Just because I don't think that this is going to be holding over time. Now, Dek, where would you add onto this? I will definitely add, but not until that uptrend breaks. I'm not going to, you know, number one, go against the grain. Not what I want. I have a 3-day long expiration. I could hold this overnight if I wanted to, but I am not adding anything until that uptrend cracks. So we are still bullish over on the S&P 500. Still bullish on the S&P 500, still trying to push itself on up. And it's still the QQQQ is still trying to push its way on up towards what? That 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average, guys, coming on up here. So I kind of just want QQQQ to just spike on up to 473 real quick. Hit that area so we can get rejected. Because we hit this area, we got a big time fall. We hit this area, we got a big time fall. We hit this area, we can have that big time fall. Not adding anything until we go bearish. Not adding anything until we go bearish, guys. 3 contracts, $8,000 investment. Looking to see if the SPY is going to turn and fall. 3 days for it to turn and fall. Got more than enough time. Got it on the 9th day of spiking. Do I think this is going to fall back on down towards, again, 549? 100%. Do I think that this is going to fall on down towards, again, 548, 547? I do. So I think, again, we have time. I think this could easily still drop. I think this could easily still fade. I think there could easily still be a lot of weakness over on this. I can average in once we go over towards the side. I'm happy, again, I didn't jump in at the beginning of the day. I'm happy I didn't jump in at 10 o'clock. I'm happy, again, I waited all the way until about 10:30 before I even jumped in on a play. So I have been holding this for about the last 10 minutes now, or excuse me, the last 15 minutes now. But you know what? Sometimes, again, early bird gets the worm. It's hard to predict the exact tops. It's hard to predict the exact areas. But we're doing the best we can to make sure that we're doing everything right. Right now, we are still looking for this uptrend to be able to crack if it can. Be able to look for this weakness. Get a confirmation candle underneath that area. Guys, we are finally getting a confirmation candle underneath the S&P 500 here. This could be the first confirmation candle underneath this area, which is a very nice over on the S&P 500. So we are having our trend line crack for the first time at this mark. It looks like 550.70 is going to be the main resistance line. Deck, would you add on to this play? If we again can hold underneath this area, absolutely. As I said, I will average in because I do think we could get a day dropping after having this monster spike. I don't think it's going to happen quick. I think again we got to get a good entry, see a slow and steady fade, and then be able to even hold this overnight for another gap down even lower. So we're hitting this again downtrend area once again, or this uptrend area, which we're looking to form into a new downtrend. I really don't want to add unless I know, it's actually starting to drop, unless I know it's actually starting to get that weakness. Let's see if we can ever, get that fade. This is the first time that we have actually seen this trend line crack. Just comes on down to all these trend lines. Uptrend, sell off. Uptrend, sell off. Uptrend, looking to see, can we get a sell off back on down towards, 550 support. Looking to see, can we get that, sell off back on down towards 549. We have QQQQ so far. Still trying to push itself on up. So QQQQ, still again on the bullish side. Bullish side still climbing all the way on up, 50-day moving average. Touch, rejection, touch, rejection. We're basically looking at anywhere in this region is going to be that touch and rejection mark. So, we want to see a QQQ start cracking. These are, again, I believe we are right near the rejection area. But I cannot give you the perfect price because I don't know it. But I believe we are near it. I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, this is going to happen right here. You guys already know my game plan. I know, again, right around 473, we can see QQQ crack. When QQQ cracks, S&P 500 is going to fall with it. S&P 500, though, at this moment, as you guys can see, it has been holding this uptrend basically this entire time. So it's been this uptrend crack, this uptrend crack, this uptrend crack. We've had 8 days in a row of green, or 8 out of the last 9. I just think there's a lot of room to fall. I have a 3-day out expiration. I want to average in near highs and be able to hold this probably throughout the rest of the day for a sell-off back underneath 550. Right? That's what I'm looking for. So traders, S&P 500 still again waiting, watching, looking for this one. 11 a.m. next again, next big time where we usually see movement. 11 a.m. Definitely could be a time where all of a sudden we start seeing a little bit more cracking, or again potentially more buying volume. But obviously we want to see that more cracking side. Still have that uptrend, still looking to see if this is going to drop. Possibly, where would your stop loss price be? I mean, the thing is, I'm letting this rock regardless. Like, I'm letting it go for a little bit because I know QQQ is going to have very strong resistance. I just don't think we're going to be holding. Will I have a stop loss? Yes. Once we start crossing over, $2,000 in losses, obviously that's never fun. But at the same time, it's just, there's part of me that's probably going to be holding this overnight. And so I would love to be able to see this fade and fall and drop and be able to, wake up tomorrow and see this thing back on down towards, 547. It's just having so many green days in a row. 8 out of 9 green days, $45 bounce, 6%, or 5% spike over the last 2 weeks. It's just like, we're due for a pullback soon. Right now, traders, as you guys know, I always show my entire P&L. Always want to be transparent. Show you guys that I'm putting my money where my mouth is. When I believe, again, something's going to happen, I'm going to trade it. When I believe something's going to happen, I'm going to get involved into it. When I believe something's going to happen, I want to, again, be able to say, hey, you know what? I'm not just telling you, you guys go do it, but I want to do it as well. Guys, the S&P 500 here, still going. Deck, where would you start getting actually concerned, though? If QQQ ever started breaking and holding, that area, that's definitely a little bit of a price of concern. But to be honest with you, there has not been a time that we have come on up and held above this 50-day. We basically drop, we touch it, we drop, we touch it, we drop. As I stated, team, I'm probably going to add another $8,000 on the S&P 500 whenever we do get a spike. And then, that's going to give me 6 contracts. That's not going to put my entry at the price of $549.60 anymore. That'll put myself more at an entry at around $550.20. So the thing is, when I average up, and put in and I have a new cost basis at $550.20, that's just going to be a better opportunity for me to be able to make some profits. Still focusing on this one. It's just we have not gotten that pullback yet, team. We have yet to get that pullback. QQQ still watching this one. Guys, QQQ still on its uptrend as well. So the thing is, QQQ still on its uptrend. So you guys can also be looking at QQQ at this moment. Excuse me. You guys can also still be watching QQQ and realize that this play still holding its uptrend. And as long as this play is holding its uptrend, it's still on bullishness. We know we're right next to that 50-day moving average. We know that we have this uptrend. We need this uptrend to crack. S&P 500. We need this uptrend to crack. We need to actually see some weakness. I'm not in on anything right here, guys. I'm not adding anything. So again, Zach and Silverback, I appreciate you guys, but I'm not adding anything at this moment. I'm just sitting with 3 contracts. Sitting with 3 contracts, just letting it go, letting it reverse, waiting for, again, a possibility to add, but I'm not adding anything on the upside. So I want to see this reversal. I want to see this bearishness. We still might even get a little 551 touch. 551.10, 551 touch. See if this can keep on going. Right now we got up to a high of the day of 550.94 so far. And this has been, just a little bit of this choppiness where we've had this spike and drop and spike and drop and spike. So what would be, again, the next part of the story? Drop is what we're looking for. I'm more of a trader that likes to trade off pattern recognition. If I see, again, spike and drop, I'm looking for a spike and a drop. I look for a lot of times, past chart history pattern can tell me what's going to happen in the future. Past chart history pattern can tell me what's going to happen in the present moment. The S&P 500, unfortunately, though, still, again, getting a little bit of this squeeze and still going. Where's QQQ at? Can QQQ hit this 50-day moving average eventually? QQQ, we are right next to that 50-day moving average, and QQQ still is considered on the bullish side. So QQQ still considered on the bullish side, still, again, pushing itself on up here. Right now, again, only sitting with 3 contracts. If I was doing 6 contracts or 8 contracts or something really big, I could be down, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, which obviously is never fun and obviously never a good time. So right now, I'm not adding anything. I am just sitting on 3 contracts and keeping it small until, again, I think we are going to actually get that clear reversal. QQQ still has another 40 cents, 35 cents until we're right next to, again, those record highs, or excuse me, that area. I'm still watching QQQ to see that drop. at the underneath its uptrend and at the 50-day moving average. S&P 500, 551.25. Nice natural resistance line. QQQ, watching to see if this is going to turn. QQQ got up towards the top of what? 572.73. QQQ, little bit of a pullback right here. S&P 500, potential, guys. Little pullback coming on up. Potential little pullback, coming on up here on this move. We have the, as we talked about, QQQ, 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average at the price of 473.10. QQQ testing this area right here. See if we can get that weakness and get that sell-off. Right now, it is still holding, though. Still slightly holding this uptrend. Bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. It's still right on this bounce play area. So it's still trying to spike. It's still trying to hold. S&P 500. Also, had a little bit of a spike, still trying to hold up its gains. A little bit more of a pullback, finally actually starting to happen. Finally a little bit of a crack, finally a little bit of a drop here. So that's good news. Finally starting to see some weakness over on this play. See if this can actually be able to continue to hold onto this weakness and start dropping. 551.25, great area that we could definitely see hold up as around the high. We have this top mark. This top area hold up as a little bit of resistance. Still waiting, traders. As you guys know, this is a big patience game. I'll sit here, throughout the rest of the day if I have to. Sit here the rest of the day, add some shares where I need to, or add some contracts where I want to. Start again getting that best overall average, and then see this thing fade. Right now, I'm down about $1.10. The S&P 500 has spiked 1.3% today. The S&P 500 is up $7 from its previous close. The S&P 500 is up $46 from where it bounced at over the last 9 days. So QQQ, guys, that is cracking its little uptrend here. QQQ is finally cracking its uptrend. So it's been taking some time, but QQQ has bounced, has bounced, has bounced, has bounced, has bounced, has bounced. This is the first time we're not seeing a bounce. That's pretty big. That's pretty significant for us. This is the first time we have not seen a bounce play. Now, taking a look over on the S&P 500. S&P 500. Sitting right next to its areas as well, as we know, looking to see, can this actually get a reversal? Can we actually start turning? Can we actually start dropping? Can we actually start getting involved in this play? Can we actually start seeing some weakness here? So, Dek, what would some weakness be? Back on down, start, staying underneath that 551 mark. We got a little bit of touching right at this area. Can we start averaging up near these highs? Right now, we still have a little bit of strength, but it's great news. At least the uptrend is starting to crack. It's great news that QQQQ is right next to the 50-day moving average. It's great news, again, that we are starting to look for this weakness. So can we actually start turning? That's the big question. SPY right here, traders. Going back and forth, looking for my entry, looking for an opportunity for me to be able to, add in on this one a little bit more. QQQ getting a little bit weaker. Guys, I'm going to add one more contract here. Slowly start bringing up my cost basis slightly. So now I have 4 contracts in on this play. Slowly bringing up my cost basis. 4 contracts in on this play. That'll at least, not put my cost basis at the price of $549.60. Maybe again, bring my cost basis up towards around the price of $49.90. Maybe again, give myself an extra 30 cents. Give myself, instead of being down $1.50, I'm only down $1 now. So I'm looking to see if QQQ can start cracking. So far, I do have a $10,000, investment over on this play. $10,000 investment over on this play. And hey, you know, as we stated, 11 o'clock coming on up. Gonna see if we can get a little bit more of that reversal. Gonna actually start seeing if we can get some weakness. Drop back on down towards around 550 support. Remember, team, we have moved $46 in 9 days. We're up $7 today. Who here thinks we can fall $1? Traders, if we fall $1, I'm back in the green. I'm in the green if we fall $1. That's kind of crazy to think about, because we have moved $46 in 9 days. We have moved $7.26 today. If we fall $1, I'm in the green. I know, again, sometimes you say, oh, Deck, you're down 2,000 bucks. I understand that. We fall $1 though, I make it all back. We fall $2 out of $46 that we climbed, I'm up $2,000. So we are watching to see, can we get this crack? Andre, why are you shorting on a way up? You should only short when a trend line cracks. What do you think QQQ is, buddy? QQQQ, moving itself on up, trend line cracks. That's why I'm shorting. So I'm, again, shorting as, again, I'm looking for trend line cracks. You basically answering your own question right here, man. Right now, we are still looking at this thing. SPY, let's get it slow and steady back on down. Can SPY drop to the VWAP? Absolutely. I mean, that would be like, we're just looking for any sort of pullback. If you want to take a look at where that VWAP area is actually at, that's all the way back down to 470. Or, excuse me, over on the SPY. VWAP area is back on down to 459.60. Absolutely. That would be an area that we'd look for like over lunch. Over lunchtime for a little bit of that slow fade. Right now, looking for the SPY now to be able to fade. See if the SPY could be able to turn. See if the SPY could be able to drop. See if the SPY could be able to get that red candle. You know, dump on down towards sub 550.50. You know, that's kind of like our next mark. Get away from the 551 mark. Dump on down towards, again, 550.50. Now, as we know, though, it is still pretty slow. It's not like it's fast in any sort of way. QQQ came again right up towards that 50-day moving average. Didn't get all the way to that 50-day moving average, but got pretty close. You know, it came on up towards, what, the 572.50 mark. Now we're looking for QQQ to get a couple big red candles all the way back on down towards around the price of 570. And we'd love to see the S&P 500 be able to follow that right here. S&P 500 to be able to drop on down towards sub 550. Get a couple big red candles, dump on down towards 550.45. Get ourselves back into a more reasonable area here. We also do have 2 minutes until 11 o'clock. There is no news at 11 o'clock, but sometimes just on every hour, some action happens. Some magic starts happening. We start seeing again, you know, the SPY spike on up, or the S&P 500 starts turning and starts dropping back on down. Let's see here. SPY still trying to hold on up here slightly. QQQ. Watching to see if we can get that reversal. Trend line obviously has gone from bullishness here. Type this on out. This is the bull side, right? This right here is all bulls. Bullishness on this top of the side. Over here, we are obviously all looking for the bears, right? We are looking for the bearish side over here, where we are looking to see if this is going to be able to drop and turn and fade and actually start getting that weakness from the bullish side to the bearish side. Be able to see, you know, the S&P 500 and QQQ work together to be able to know, okay, hey, you know, this is the side that we want to be able to make our most money. A little bit of a bounce play here. We just want to slowly start working our way on down. And there, again, if it's this slow, like if we just slowly start falling, then yes, there is potential that I'm going to hold this overnight. Now, if we start going back up towards new highs and spiking towards new highs and things start going higher, then yes, I will get out, right? Obviously, I will get out if we just keep going. You know, I'm not going to hold it overnight then, and I'm just going to accept the fact that, you know, unfortunately, I was wrong. But if we, again, can slowly work ourselves on down, if we can slowly fade, if we can slowly fall, if we can slowly get weaker, then I'm probably going to hold this throughout today and then, again, be able to, you know, get that and then hold it overnight. If we can, again, slowly work ourselves on down. As you guys know, my expiration is not until the end of Monday night. That's why I don't do same-day expirations. We are doing so much already. We're trying to predict again what ETF, what the SPY is going to do, what QQQ is going to do. We have to figure out trend lines. We got to figure out support. We got to figure out resistance. Then again, we got to figure out our strike price. And then on top of that, you're trying to tell me that you want to do that all within the same day? It's like, I would rather not even go through all that. I would much rather, again, just try to say to myself, all right, let me do things the right way. Let me give myself time for it to happen, so I don't like to do, you know, same-day expiration. So SPY, we're still looking at this one here, traders. I got a little tickle in my throat. Guys, it's 11 o'clock right now. Sometimes at 11 o'clock, sometimes some magical things happen. Sometimes we get pullbacks. Sometimes we get spikes. Sometimes random news comes out on CNBC. Sometimes, again, we'll see. Sometimes I get a little crazy. Sometimes I take off my clothes. Sometimes I start singing. Sometimes I start dancing. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. Right now over on the S&P 500, we still have that opportunity. We want to see, can we build lower highs? I know that's what Zach Hopper's been looking for. I know that's what Silverback's been looking for. I know it's what a lot of traders are looking for. You know, just like we had bounce play on the upside, we are looking to see, can we get, you know, basically rejection on the downside and actually get some weakness. It's been so tough to actually be able to find a little bit of weakness on this play. So we do have, again, the QQQQ, little bit of a pop on up. S&P 500 here, also little bit of a pop on up. So S&P 500 still also getting a little bit of a pop on up. I want to see if we can fall back underneath that 551-ish mark. Can we fade back underneath 551? Can we get that drop? Can we get that weakness? And as you guys know, a lot of times it is just that patient game. That patience game, watching to see where the S&P 500 is going to take us, watching to see if we are going to get any sort of reversals, watching to see if we are going to get that fade. Right now, it looks like a new high is coming on up. QQQQ. QQQQ, the good news is this play is bearish, though. This play is still following its trend. This play is still on that bearish side. The S&P 500, though, still looking for a little bit more strength. Right now, traders, again, all patience at this moment. All patience at this time. Watching to see what's going to happen. But yes, I will always state this, team. I will always say this. I personally don't a lot of times like to see this. And this is why most people lose. Most people lose because they see a stock spike, 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 and they say, wow, this is awesome. I'm gonna buy it right here. And then guess what happens? This stock has already spiked from here all the way to here. What do you expect is going to happen in the near future? This is why traders lose. They wait until they visually see that a stock is moving on up. They wait until they visually see that a stock is spiking up towards highs. They wait until they visually see, oh wow, this play has moved up whatever, 300%. I am now going to jump in on it. And then the majority of the time, they end up losing, they end up taking big hits, they end up taking big losses. When a stock goes on a 300% move, there's a better chance of seeing a reversal than for it to keep going up even higher. This is why in penny stocks, I always look to short, because I know there's more money on the downside than there is on the upside. Now, what I will say is this is the same logic that I'm applying here. When I'm seeing that this play has now bounced $47, it has now bounced $47 in the matter of 9 days. I don't want to be the guy that's chasing at the very tippity top, hoping it's going to go $48, $49. That's a formula for a lot of errors in the future. Waiting for spikes and then buying in at the tippity top. I would much rather be a guy that says, hey, you know what? I see this. I'm getting ready for the reversal back on down. That's the type of trader that I am going to be. And that's the type of trader that I am, how I've been able to make my money. I don't make my money by saying, all right, the stock is spiking all the way right here. Let me buy it right here. And hopefully it keeps going on up when I already bought it at the very tippity top and most likely it's going to crash in the future. Now, yes, when we're talking about the S&P 500, it's going to have a lot more of a better chance of consistently moving on up. But a lot of times, team, when we're talking about normal stocks, we're seeing spike and we see dump. So many people get caught up in the spike. They see the spike, they buy in at the top, they end up getting dumped on. So what am I really doing here? I'm seeing, of course, this monster spike, and I am looking for if a reversal is going to happen, right? That's all I'm doing. So I just don't want to be a guy that's chasing the top. No matter what I say, though, I say I don't want to chase the top. People say, okay, I like that. But then they say, oh, don't go against the trend. And oh, okay, hey, well, if you don't go against the trend, well, then don't try to, again, don't buy the play when it's falling. Oh, don't buy the play. Don't try to catch a falling knife. Oh, well, why don't you go with momentum? There's always going to be like one negative side. And you can always say, oh, Dek, why would you again short when this play is going on up? Well, because again, it's up so big, so much, so quickly. There's great odds that people are going to lock in profits. There's a better chance that this play is going to fall over the next day and a half than it is going to continue to rise. There's a better chance it has to fall than to rise. So I'd rather just play the odds, right? I don't want to be someone chasing at the very tippity top, hoping that it comes back on down. Or hoping that it goes up higher after already going on that move. So that's just, my strategy, what I like to look for. So right now, S&P 500 at this time. Still looking, still focused over on this one. Now, what else do we have here? QQQ. QQQ at this moment, 472. See if that one can start getting a little bit weaker. See if that one can start cracking back on down. Now, at this moment, traders, where is my cost base? Let's think about this. Let's also think about it like this. Again, I'm just trying to explain you guys my thought process, because the thing is, whenever I see it every single time. Whenever I'm in the red, people always say, oh man, Dek's in the red, you don't know what you're doing. And then I'm in the green, people say, I love you. Traders, I'm going to show you a little bit of a different example of how I'm seeing this, okay? And this might even be able to blow your mind, okay? The S&P 500 was down at this price, 510. I said, I'm going to wait. I think it's going to reverse, but I'm not going to do a put yet. I'm not going to do a put yet. I'm not going to do a put yet. Nope, not going to do a put yet. Not going to do a put contract yet. Not going to do a put contract yet. Nope, not going to do a put contract yet. Nope, still haven't done a put contract yet. And I'm going to do a put contract right here. This orange line, and I'm going to turn it into a red line. This red line represents where I pulled the trigger on a put contract. Look at what we have done so far. Is it a bad move that I pulled a put contract after having this ginormous spike and I'm looking for a pullback after, again, seeing this monster move all the way on up. I am currently down $1 in profit. We have moved $47, okay? We fall $1, I make all my money back plus profit. You got to think about the bigger picture, people. You got to think about the bigger scope. Now, am I guaranteeing that I'm going to win? The answer is no. I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to win. I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to come out profitable. I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to be in the green. But what I do want you to realize is so many people, again, have micro vision, micro focus. You got to look at the bigger picture here and understand, what this play is actually doing. We spike $47. I fall $1. I'm in the green. So still, again, very slow at this time. Still slow and steady grinder. And we're looking to see if this thing could ever get that crack. Looking to see if this thing gets that weakness. How's QQQ doing? QQQ at this time, still sitting almost at the same area. QQQ at this moment, still sitting at the same area. QQQ at this time, still again sitting at the same exact mark. QQQ, its top is right up towards around that 472-ish mark. Play starting to still again grind at this moment. I'm sitting right here. You guys can see with my 4 contracts. SPY might even touch a new high right here. And I am more just thinking about what do I want to do. I am thinking about that. What do I want to do? Do I want to get out of this play? Say, hey, you know what? Deck, you had your thought process. You had your game plan. It's just still moving itself on up. Or is it, let's hold this, watch for lunch hours to happen, watch to see if this thing reverses on down throughout lunch hours, fades back down towards around 550, and once it comes back down to 550, you hold it overnight. Obviously, traders, I cannot tell you for a fact what is going to happen in the future. I cannot tell you, again, 100% with certainty which way, again, the S&P 500 is going to be going. All I'm trying to do is, again, put the odds in the best case scenario that I can to be able to, again, give myself a reasoning to go ahead and pull the trigger from one way or another. I've gone over my reasoning a billion times already. It just comes on out to, at this point, is it going to follow that reasoning? At this point, is that actually going to happen? So where do I feel confident? Where do I feel good? Underneath the price of 551, I think the plan can easily start happening. Remember, my entry is going to be back on down towards around the price of 550. I don't want this trade to get carried away in any sort of way. I don't want, again, take unnecessary losses. At the same time, I do have, again, a 3-day contract. This is not, it gets expired at the end of the day. I could, again, consistently keep on holding this. But right now, the SPY is still looking strong, and anything I say is not going to change that. So the SPY is still looking strong. The SPY is still moving on up. The SPY is still green. The SPY is up 150. I could sit here all I want and say, ooh, I want the SPY to go down. Not going to change anything. So that's a little fun fact as well, is I could sit here all I want and talk into the mic about why it should go down. Doesn't mean it will go down, though. So we will, again, give this a little bit more time. Give it a little bit more time. See if we actually do get a crack. If we don't get a crack, then I will get out, accept that loss, be able to make that money back in the future. Wait for a trade that, I believe is going to follow the odds. But right now, again, this play is just not doing exactly what I want it to. And as a trader, sometimes you got to accept that. But I still don't want to do anything too large. I don't want to go in $20,000, $50,000. Right now, guys, SPY's still holding. Probably going to get out here soon, team. Just because it's not doing what I want. Gave all my reasonings, gave all my opinions, gave everything that I could. Just not doing what I want. So you know what? Sometimes I have to accept that, you know, the SPY's going to have a mind of its own every now and then. So at this moment here, traders, just want to get prepared to get ready to get out of this play here in the near future. Right now, QQQQ. This play here, team, is also sitting right next to its highs. QQQ looks like it's spiking right up to its next to its highs. Team, still going. Not going to hold and hope. I'm going to take my loss. I'm going to accept it. Going to move on from this trade. So, SPY out of this one at this moment. Could it again still do exactly what I want coming on up? Sure it can. But could it keep on going up higher and higher and higher, and I'm just looking like a weirdo sitting on this camera just hoping it comes back on down? Sure is right. That could possibly happen as well. So the thing is, team, when a loss comes, you got to be able to still realize you could have a perfect game plan, but again, that doesn't mean it's always going to work on out. What you do have to realize, though, is you can't blow up an account. If you're trading with a $3,000 account, don't allow yourself to lose $3,000. Or in my case, if you're trading with a $100,000 account, you know, $3,000 isn't the end of the world, but it's never fun. I still, again, can still recognize the value of a dollar. I still realize how much $3,000 in. I don't want to consistently be taking $3,000 losses. I do want to say, hey, you know what? If I jump into a play, I want to make $2,000, $3,000. Not let, again, gains just get carried out, keep going up higher and higher and higher. So, breaking down this day. Am I happy with, again, the game plan I had? Yes. Am I happy with the result? No. Could I have done things better? 100%. But at the same time, am I happy I pulled the trigger? Absolutely. There's things I could do better on. There's things that I could do worse on. There's things I did right. There's some things I did wrong. With this play, again, I wish I got out a little earlier. At the same time, I was confident with what was going to happen. I'm happy again pulling the trigger, explaining again my trade. At the same time, I'm happy I got out of it eventually. If I kept on holding, I'd be even more in the red. And again, possibly putting myself into losses that are going to be tougher to make back in the future. So again, wanted to do everything I possibly could, but at the same time, guess what? The stock market is sometimes the stock market, and you got to respect that. So I am 100% out of it. And hey, if it drops over lunch hours and we start fading and falling, it just absolutely collapses over lunch hours. We'll see what happens then. But, you know, I'm not going to just keep on holding and hoping right here. So QQQ. Guys, any questions, comments, concerns? Any questions, comments, or concerns? Zach, thank you so much. Dek, you're a beast, brother. You show it all as always. Hey, as always. Guys, I'm not going to, again, you know, hide any sort of wins and losses. It's always fun to show wins. It's tough to show losses. But you know what? If you guys are here trying to learn, if you guys are here wanting to become better, if you guys are here saying, hey, you know what? I actually want to become consistent in the stock market. I don't want you guys to just see what I do right. I want you guys to see what I do wrong as well. I don't want you guys to just see, again, how I win. I want you guys to see why I lose and how you could be able to say, okay, Dek made a mistake doing this. Now I can learn from it. I think a great mentor is going to be someone who is fully transparent. Someone who shows you, again, why they win, why they lose, what they do right, what they do wrong, and how you guys can be able to come to the best strategy you can. So that's what it all comes on down to as a trader. Absolutely. Just want to open up the floor if you guys do have any questions, comments, concerns, making sure that every single person is coming out on top as always, baby. Right now, QQQ still watching this one, and as you guys can see, still pushing. The S&P 500 still pushing. It's a little annoying. It just keeps going up higher and higher and higher. But hey, that's what the SPY does. S&P 500 still going on up there. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Traders, as always, want to make sure that we're all set, ready to go. Want to make sure that we're getting ourselves all dialed on in. Waiting to see where this momentum is going to be taking us at all points. But hey, for myself, guys, no more trades for myself at this moment. Gotta stay smart, gotta use your head, gotta stay confident, gotta stay transparent, and we'll see what comes on up next. Traders, as always, I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who has joined us on this morning. Thank you so much for everyone who has tuned on into the live stream. As always, AK-47 is absolutely crushing it over on, again, the boot camp. We are going to have Kush kicking off the boot camp next week, and I hope every single person is loving life and enjoying that. So, as always, if you guys do have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. I'm happy to help you guys on out, but we're going to be wrapping up for lunch hours, and we'll see what's going to be coming up here next. Other than that, as always, it's an absolute joy to be working with each and every single one of you. I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are fired on up, and I hope you guys are ready to rock and roll. Have a wonderful lunch hours. I'll see you guys back here this afternoon. As always, get yourself over on tradecaster.com, the #1 trading community in the world. Let's get after it, team. You guys know it. Turn it up here in 3, 2, 1. Woo! I love you. Enjoy it, and have a wonderful lunch hours. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Did you make money today? Did you make a profit today? Did you come out on top today? I'm the Batman. I got this question the other day. Why are you successful?
So I ball so hard, motherfucker.
$1,000 profit today.
The first niggas gotta find me.
$700.
50 grand to a motherfucker like me. Can you please remind me? Ball so hard, this shit crazy.
$1,000.
Y'all know that don't shit phase. And as we go,
Lock it on
I'll
up.
too when I look at you like this shit crazy. Ball so hard, this shit weird. We ain't even pro be here. Ball so hard since we
1,400.
here. It's only right that we be fair.
Who's ready for $1 million a year?
You
should be asking how to be successful.
Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, Game 6.
Tell the bartender, line up some shots, cause I'ma get loose tonight. She's on fire, she's so hot, I'm no liar, she burned up the spot. Look like Mariah, I took another shot. Hold her, drop it like it's hot. Dirty talk, dirty dance, she a freaky girl, and I'm a freaky man. She on the rebound, broke up with her ex, and I'm like Rodman, ready on deck. I told her wanna ride out, and she said yes. We didn't go to church, but I got blessed.
Let's get it now.